everybody. My name is Courtney Price. I'm with The Ohio State University. Thank you for listening to this virtual lightning talk. And I want to say that I've done about, I don't even know how many takes of this video, and I'm realizing that 5 minutes is not much time. So what my goal is right now is to introduce myself and the work group that I'm with, talk very briefly about some of the initiatives that I've tried, and then invite you to join me during the actual summit so we can talk about which of the initiatives that I've kind of kickstarted at Ohio State have worked and which haven't, to learn a little bit about your experiences trying to establish broader impacts at your university and have more of a dynamic back and forth conversation. So this is really just a highlight of my journey over the past few years to set up a broader impact support program at a university that lacks a broader impact office. A lot of the conversations that I've heard over the past few years have really focused on getting those broader impact offices established. And while I think that's an awesome and aspirational goal for most of us, sometimes it seems like a pipe dream. So I think it's important to keep the conversation going on a smaller scale at the same time so that those of us who are kind of boots on the ground, broader impacts professionals can continue to move the needle forward. So very quickly, as I mentioned, I'm from The Ohio State University. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's a large university in the middle of Ohio. We have over 38,000 employees, over 68,000 students, and a large research budget. And while that means there's a lot of infrastructure and support that's available within the university, it also means that a lot can get lost along the way. It's absolutely impossible to be aware of all of the things that are available to you as a researcher, staff, or graduate student. So I have a dual appointment between two plant science centers. The first one, Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center, and I'll be happy to geek out on Arabidopsis with you later, but in brief, it's an NSF-funded global stock center for Arabidopsis resources. And because we're NSF-funded, we have a very long-standing broader impacts program that we've developed. The other center I work with is called the Center for Applied Plant Sciences, and it focuses on interdisciplinary collaborations. And so through this center, we fund team science that looks to solve complex problems using plants. And in addition to the research mission, CAPS also has an education and outreach program, and I serve as their broader impact support person. So let me stop sharing for now and just say that through my role with CAPS about 2 years ago, I started to put in place a more formal infrastructure for broader impacts that had 4 main activities. That was individual consultations, which is something I've been doing from the start of my work with CAPS, as well as opportunities for faculty and graduate students to engage in outreach and education activities as a means for building their broader impacts portfolio. That was also something I had been doing, but I wanted to make it a more kind of formal structure. And the 2 newer components of the program that I kicked off about 2 years ago were the development and dissemination of a bi-monthly-ish broader impacts newsletter that was sent out to center members and other affiliates, and then a quarterly broader impacts brainstorming session. And that was really what I thought would be like the key piece of the new program. And as part of the brainstorming sessions, we would, the first half would be to feature a presenter from within the university that provided some sort of broader impact or proposal development support program, and so that our faculty and researchers could start to learn more about what's available to them. And then have an unstructured portion of the brainstorming session that was really meant to be a time for faculty to brainstorm with me and with each other on ideas that they could build into their broader impacts plans. Now, some of those worked, some of those didn't. I look forward to talking with you more about them during our chat room in the summit. The other work that I do with the Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center primarily started off focusing on proposal development for the center. But in our last broader impacts plan, we built into a program where we can provide broader impacts support and science communication training to plant science faculty at Ohio State as a means of building their broader impacts portfolio, and then almost as a positive feedback loop, feeding back into ABRC and boosting our ability to reach people through our outreach and education initiatives. I'm very close to the end of my 5 minutes, which went very fast. So hopefully if any of those ideas spark your interest, you'll stop by and we can talk more about them during the summit. Thank you.